these two projects. We have a couple of questions to ask to our speakers, but as I know also that they already have a bit of the presentation already made, we're gonna simply start with their own presentation, then we're gonna ask more specific questions about how they are involved with local wood. If you have questions, you can already maybe write them in the chat while the speaker are talking. We can add them in the questions we're gonna ask them, and we can have a couple of minutes at the end of the presentations to ask questions directly. We have about 20 minutes per speaker, so that time-wise you also are ready for that. So yeah, Martin, if you confirm me that we're all here, we can already start.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then we're gonna start with Benjamin, who is part of the Walden project. So Benjamin, if you can start by presenting yourself and the project.
Okay, so I will share my screen already. So why do that? That I think it's okay. Is it good?
Yes. Perfect.
Yes. Okay. Put that in full screen. Okay. So I'm Benjamin Moncarey. So my story is a bit long, but I will make it short. I will try. But I have started to be a designer by going to an art school first. So it was not the carpentry way. So maybe it's why I have another kind of out the box thinking in general. But after my studying, I was very interesting to do things more in the not artistic way, but really for everybody in the daily life. So because I was in some consideration about eco-friendly living, I was starting Walden project. So Walden project is a custom carpentry for sustainable companies and eco products line. So I was trying to provide a new way, a new solution to people who wanted to create the business, like in Horeca. I don't know in English, it's hello, Adela. Hello, Adela.
Oui, bonjour.
Ah, bonjour. Adela, en fait, nous sommes dans deux groupes et tu dois choisir le groupe dans lequel tu aimerais aller.
Ok.
Donc, il y en a un qui parle au fait de la gestion forestière et il y en a un autre qui parle de la menuiserie.
Oui.
Et tu peux choisir le groupe que tu préfères ou la thématique qui t'intéresse le plus.
Ben, je préfère peut-être la menuiserie.
Ok, Ok, super.
Super.
On est dans le même groupe.
Je te remercie.
À tout de suite.
Parfait.
Voilà. Was the little cabin I had in the south of Belgium. So I was doing permaculture and different kind of stuff. So my first thing was, I was myself entering in the eco-friendly movement, and the composting thing was the first. So I was redesign what you can see on the left high, a vermicomposter which is was so the first product was to try to make it more easier and best way to make it than the international products you can find like often in plastics. So it was this collection. And soon I was confronted to the fact that tailor-made was more easy to live because it was difficult to design, make it, and distribute it for the collection in the same time. So I was more able to respond to what I wanted to provide by doing something more tailor-made. So this is, for example, the vermicomposter. It was the whole beginning of how to propose something else in another way. So revisiting the design, the biomimicry, an artisanal and local way to make it restaurant. So few years I was trying to do that tailor-made, as I said. So you can see some project, and it was always a mix of steel and wood. And for the wood, I was trying to find. Sorry, one second, please. Yeah. Okay, bye bye. So it was difficult to find the wood, the local wood, as I wanted. No really one way was existing to when I was to the negociant, the shops who sell the wood. They never had a way to give me like the origin of the wood. It was always like, yeah, I think it's a French wood, or this one is Belgian, but I don't know really from where, etc., etc. So one of the solutions was to go I will come back there, to go in different location who was trying to do that well. So as you can see on the map, it was very far from where I was creating. So it was one of the problem. It's local, but not enough. It was not enough, and it was not accurate because it was not like from sawmill, for example. It was from here you can see on the right pile of recycling wood from Poland, was imported in Belgium to have a second life. But it was a good beginning, but it was kind of a middle solution. And sawmills was kind of a good solution, but a lot of sawmill in Belgium import French wood. So I was not very happy with that. And then I was involved in one project, was this project where I met Stefan Kampelman, who is now my co-founder buddy in Sonian Wood Coop. And he started this project with a root store, who was a store wanted to connect and the producer, the grocery, and again the producer with the composting of the vegetable, the scraps from the vegetables of the grocery. And this was a good step to make a first project together.
So Walden project is the reference, of course, of some of Walden, the writer Henri Bateau. The firm of him is not 80.
That inspires you, and what is it that makes you passionate about your work and about wood and about what you do?
Yeah, I would say like I am someone who I had a father who buy an old barn, and he transformed it as a house. So at 3 years, I was on the logging things to recreate this house, and I saw him. He was not a carpenter, but close of it because he was doing everything. So it was my first inspiration, I think. And after during my art school, I was very close of this wood question and doing a lot of small or big projects with wood. And I wanted to go more far with that.
People are really even ready to wait months, like in this case, like the table I show you, the drawing has been ordered like 8 months ago, and then I tell to that client, if you wait 6 months, you can have wood for Sonian Wood, and she said, for sure, I want it. It's so much better, and so on. So I clearly see it. I don't know, maybe it's also the neighborhood and the kind of customers, but I feel that it's very important for them. For the second question, I'm more in a very afraid a little bit area because I never work with that wood, and I'm still a little bit afraid on how stable it would be, for instance. But I'm sure Benjamin will be able to share some trick with me. But for instance, on that large plateau that you saw on the drawing, typically I would do that in walnut or in oak. But here I have the beech, and beech is known to move a little bit more with time and weather condition and so on. So I'm a bit afraid that it will crack or basically not stay as strong as some other wood. So I guess I will see with experience, but that's something I'm a bit afraid of. That having local wood forces you to make some technical sacrifice. Compromise. Let's call them compromise.
Yeah, I will complete by it's not necessarily a lower quality. It's just because we have all the wood and we don't make the same difference as industrial make, like a premium only often. We can use that, and of course there is some risk. And next, as I said, I adapted my design like more rough, and because people love it too. But yeah, of course, I always be prepared to or say that this can be a bit more, moving in the time, or But I think it's kind of in the US they make a lot of these big slabs tables, and they fill it with resin. Epoxy or something, and this is the game, I think. This is more expression of the wood finally, and for me it's great.
It's also something to be learned, I think.
Yeah.
And Simon, did you get the opportunity to talk about that with your client?
Yeah, I told them that there was a risk that would.
For me, they don't care finally. Yeah.
But at the end, the problem is that what I'm doing, it's more kind of modern thing.
Yeah.
Where the wood is not left too rough. I mean, sometimes I could do a plateau or something, but I don't have it. In this case, it's something where the finish would be very smooth and designed in a way, so it cannot lift too much, unfortunately. Yeah. So I will just need, maybe to make smaller pieces, so I prevent the moving. To put some metallic bar underneath. I mean, I'm looking at some tips and tricks that I did not have to do before because the wood was more stable. I don't know if that's a good one. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready to do it. To me, it's worth the extra work.
Thank you. Are there some other questions from Adela?
Hi. I have maybe a question more for Simon. How do you practically manage, on one side, a real full-time job, and on the other side, the contact with the clients and your hobby, which became literally your second job? How it is feasible in the life with a family? Where is the balance between these two?
Yeah, it's clearly not easy, especially that I have two very young boys, 2 and 4 years old, which do take a lot of time as well. No, it's not easy, and it creates sometimes a lot of frustration because it doesn't go as fast as I would, as I would like it to be. So something I plan to do in 2 months will take 6, and just building the woodworking shop took me years. I mean, so it's, yeah, you need to be patient, but I still prefer doing it than not doing it. But I do tell the clients that it will take a long time. But yeah, I wish one day I could shift the balance a little bit more towards woodworking and less to engineering.
Do you feel it's the moment today in Belgium that the employers would be, let's say, open to a little bit more flexible approach to people?
Yeah, I would say in general, yes. In my case, probably.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon for you, I'm sorry.
It's good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be there.
We have already started two groups here, so that's why you're the only one here.
Okay.
And one we're discussing about sustainable carpentry, and then the other about new forest management. So you can choose the topic which you would prefer.
To follow right now?
Yes.
I'll guess what with the first one.
Okay. So I'll put you here. I'm also in the same group.
Okay, let's see.
I want to make it right. So they are more involved too. And it's kind of very interesting, and it's easier for us to make or planning a bit more on the long term too, because if it's 2 months to make a project, it's 2 months and people are okay, nice. If you do it right, I'm I'm happy. So yeah.
Okay, good to hear that.
Yeah.
Even customers are open to.
Not everyone, but yeah, there is always people who want that for yesterday, but but a lot of them, especially with Sonian Wood Coop more than with Walden project, are like we have some people who buy a farm and they want to make all the whole structural roof. Big log, everything, and they know and they're aware that okay, we have to cut the wood, we have to make that square, we have to make it dry, and when we say it's about 6 months of waiting, they are okay. And with Céline too, we have a lot of discussion about that because she's an architect, and we work together around some projects, and it's like already what, 1 year minimum we speak. She knows that we have to cut the wood, make it dry, and after she passed the order, maybe there is 3 to 6 months. So yeah, there is project more able to be in this more long-term thing, but I think it's another very unique thing to be able to buy a wood that you saw maybe on feet, and it will be this one in my house or in my shop or something, and it's had a very unique value that only local can bring, I think.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We have the space for maybe one last question from the public, and then I have a final question for both the speakers from my side, if there is any from the public. Otherwise, I will go directly with mine. Okay. which is the following. What are the most impressive achievements that you have in your activity? And also, I would be curious to know if it's something that surprised you. So if it's an achievement that you weren't expecting, or if it's something that you put as a goal and that you achieved.
Benjamin, you can start.
I have to find or to think about it. It's like a trick question. Can you be more precise, maybe? For me, the most impressive thing I've done is maybe creating Sonian Wood Coop. So,
yeah, it doesn't have to be. It's perfect.
But if we speak about just carpentry itself, I don't know. It's not the prestige thing who I'm interested there. It's more the achievement for maybe the client or what. So I'm pretty happy that on 5 years I have kind of a lot of location on Brussels who have my products and my tailor-made project. And again, this is very unique. They can say, oh, it's not like, because of the a bit more artistic thing I put on the project too. This is yeah, kind of I think a very great collaboration with the people, because this is not I'm not called as a big carpentry or menuiserie can be sometimes, like yeah, this is the bill and bye bye at the end of the project. We're creating like a real relation, and now with local wood it's more again it's pushing this part. So yeah, I think one of the great thing I've done with Walden and Sonian is creating like a link between people, the wood, the project, and it's a good achievement for me, I feel.
Yeah, I will jump on this link idea because I also think it's a great accomplishment. I was not expecting it. I mean, I basically decided to start this woodworking shop, but more in a standalone way, I would say. But I mean, seeing this community, being part of it, and show that there is so much interest nowadays in woodworking, but of course in wood management and local management, I think it's really great. And being part of it, it's not something I was expecting a few years ago, but I think it's great. It's great, and it's kind of an accomplishment of the work here too. Yeah.
I can share maybe like just one project who I speak about. Yeah. So as you see with the client, and now they're friends of mine. So so yeah, and they moved this project, who is made of it's not Sonian wood because it was a lot before, but it's a small company. It's actually the father and the son who cut oak with a small mobile sawmill, and it's one of the only people who was doing Belgian oak with a small scale mill, and who I was able to work with before. But as you see, it's very rough wood, not rough, but very rustic. And but it's what they wanted, and it was great. So it was something we know that will be moved a few years after, and now this is in the new location, and I make it again for expand it. So yeah, it's again we construct something together, and I follow them, they follow me, and it's a story.
Super. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Benjamin and Simon, for your presentation.